Park, New York, home of the Buffalo Bills, where another sellout crowd of more than 75,000 anticipates this pivotal AFC East matchup between the visiting Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Hicks along with Jim Kelly and Paul McGuire. And Jim, the Bills have been looking for an offensive spark all year long. It was Alex Van Pelt who gave it to him last week, rallying the team from a 20-0 deficit in the fourth quarter, almost pulled the game out. But he gets his first NFL start this week because of it.
He does, and I think he knows that this is a one-game audition for Alex Van Pelt. He does well, he stays. If he doesn't, they're back to Todd Collins. And on the other side of football, you look at Dan Marino. And talking to him last night, he knows in order for the Miami Dolphins to be successful and win, like the past games, he knows that they have to run in football. The way that today's weather is, heck, both teams might be running the ball a lot.
You're right, and running the ball may be easier for Dan Marino and the Dolphins, Paul, considering all the linebackers that Buffalo lost this week to injuries.
Can you imagine? I asked Barb Levy yesterday, I said, have you ever had this happen to you? 3 inside linebackers in 1 week, Perry, Spielman, and Covington. Look what Spielman and Covington have contributed, 97 tackles each. Now, they're going to start 2 linebackers that really haven't played. John Halicek has never started a game, and only 90% he's got a bad ankle. The other guy is Mark Maddox, who was cut in training camp, brought back this past week. He hasn't even worked out since the beginning of October, but he's going to start in this football game. You think they're going to run? I would.
Well, more bad news on the injury front for Buffalo. Just moments ago, Kurt Schulz, we found out, the starting safety, will not start for Buffalo. He's out with a hip flexor injury. The weather also could be a factor here today. Rain in the forecast. It is drizzling right now, and Dan Marino has told us that he does not like handling a wet football. We're back with a kickoff. Bills and Dolphins right after this. Stadium, a look at the AFC East standings, and they are really bunched up. The only team out of it is Indianapolis, which is still looking for its very first win. But in this month of November, these teams will knock each other off. So this month will be huge and crucial to determining who takes charge of the AFC East standings. The Miami Dolphins coming off a disappointing overtime loss, as are the Buffalo Bills. The Bills win the toss. They elect to receive, and that is Derek Holmes and Tim Tyndale back deep to receive the kickoff from Olinde Mare of Miami. The rain, as you can see, has gotten harder since just a few moments ago, and as we mentioned, the forecast calls for more of the same.
We're used to seeing that here in Buffalo. More rain, and some more rain.
So here we go from Rich Stadium, a sellout crowd of more than 75,000. Good kick by Mare, drops Derek Holmes back into the end zone, and the Bills will come out 1st and 10 from their own 20. Alex Van Pelt, his very first NFL start of his career, and this is just the 5th game of his career. It'll be important for the struggling offensive line to protect him. Fina, Brown, Ziegler, Lucina, and Ostrowski, an inconsistent group for most of the season up front. Thurman Thomas gets the start, but we will see, as always, plenty of Antoine Smith. They begin in a 3 wide receiver set with Moulds, Early, and Reed. Lonnie Johnson is the tight end. So Alex Van Pelt, in his first NFL start, begins from the 20 and gives it to Thurman Thomas left side. Thomas will get no more than a yard just across the 20 to the 21. That'll bring up 2nd down and 9. The Miami defense has also been hurt by injuries. The front 4, Armstrong, Bowens, Gardner, and Burton. And the linebacking core, anchored really by Derek Rogers, a rookie who has been a big surprise for Miami. Zach Thomas is the leading tackler. Buckley and Jackson the corners. Wooden and Teague are the safeties. 5 defensive backs now employed by Miami on defense. And Van Pelt gives it to Thurman Thomas up the middle, and Thomas spinning closely to the 30-yard line. That would be a 1st down if they spot it there. Brought down by Sean Wooden. It is a 1st down, Buffalo.
And this is what the Buffalo Bills really have to do. Now, just watch the blocks as they get right at the point of attack. All you have to do is get that one in the hole. Once you do, Thurman Thomas downfield, he is a terrific runner. And people asking Jim, why is he starting and why isn't Antoine? Here's the reason why he starts.
Exactly. And the thing is, when you look at some of the things the Bills like to do, especially in wet weather, they're going to go north and south. They're not going to try to hit the corner as much today.
With the 1st down, it is Antoine Smith who is now in the backfield for Buffalo, and Smith gets the carry. 25-year-old rookie who Marv Levy told us will continue to play more as the season goes on. So you'll see a lot more of Antoine Smith. The comparison for both, check out the yards per carry average for Smith, 5.4 to Thurman's 3.8.
And a lot of people, by looking at that stat, would think, why isn't Antoine Smith starting more? But look at Thurman Thompson, knowing what he's all about. He's a leader, and they need that in that offense, especially being as young as they are.
Gain of 4 for Smith, 2nd down and 6. And here comes Antoine Smith again. Very physical, powerful runner at 6'2", 224 pounds, brought down by Derek Rogers.
Yeah, you know, when you saw the Buffalo Bills, they came out in 3 wides. And one of the reasons why is Zach Thomas. Marv Levy wanted to get him out of the ballgame. They figure if they go 3 wide, they will substitute and change and go to a nickel package. Well, the only problem is when we talked to Jimmy Johnson about Zach Thomas, he said the only time he comes out is 3rd and long when they're assured of a passing down. Otherwise, he's going to stay in the ballgame.
Zach Thomas does not like to come out of the game at any instance. 3rd down and 2 for Van Pelt, and he'll put up his first pass of the game. And lofting it over the head of Quinn Early. And there may be a lot of that today with the slickness of the ball and the steady rain.
There is, and Dan Marino even told us that he doesn't like throwing the ball when it's wet. And good indication right there. Alex Van Pelt might not like throwing it in this wet weather too.
Dan said he doesn't even like to hand it off on the running plays. We're going to see him next.
Well, Van Pelt certainly was effective last week, again rallying the Bills from a 20-0 fourth quarter deficit before they eventually lost to Denver in overtime. Chris Moore, the punt for Buffalo, low driving. Charles Jordan driven back, and he'll let it roll, and Buffalo will make Miami begin its very first series pinned back deep in its own territory at about the 6-yard line. So when we come back, Dan Marino will go to work for Miami. Scoreless early here at Rich Stadium.
NFL on NBC is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, who reminds you the 3 most important words are "Hey Beer Man," by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road, by Liberty Mutual Insurance, helping people live safer, more secure lives. That's the freedom of liberty. And by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more.
Back in Orchard Park, where the Bills begin this game in a 4-3 defensive alignment. We'll show you the lineup in just a moment as Miami begins deep in its own territory from the 6-yard line. And a handoff up the middle to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he loses a couple. So maybe the new defensive alignment paid off, at least in the early going, as Bruce Smith makes the tackle for the loss. Here is the 4-3, joining Phil Hansen, Ted Washington, and the great Bruce Smith up front is Sean Moran. The move to this defense, all the injuries to the inside linebacking core. Pop, Holisek, and Rogers, the linebackers, Burris and Smith, Henry Jones, and Manny Martin. Manny Martin gets the start at free safety for the injured Kurt Schultz. And Abdul-Jabbar again stopped for no gain, and it's big Ted Washington who came in and met him.
This might be a difference. They might not be expecting that, so we'll see what happens if they make any changes today with the Dolphins. Dan
Marino, the quarterback in his 15th year for Miami. He was sacked 4 times last week, but the offensive line led by the 7-time Pro Bowler Richmond Webb at left tackle. Featured back Abdul-Jabbar. O.J. McDuffie's his go-to receiver, along with Lamar Thomas. Troy Drayton is the tight end. 3rd down and 11 for Miami. 6 defensive backs for Buffalo. And Marino from the shotgun. And that'll be well short of the first down as Jarris McFell gets the carry. Eric Smedley and Dan Brandenburg combined for the stop for Buffalo.
It was just a safe play, Jimmy. What they did is they lined up, they spread everybody out, and they figured they'll run a quick draw. If they can pop it, they get a first down. If not, it gets them in a good punting position.
Also, they might be looking at pass protection too with a different defensive lineman. They might not want to take a chance. They're going to go to the sidelines. They're going to talk to the coaches. They're going to figure out exactly what they have to do now.
So an excellent chance for the Bills to get some good field position. That is Jeff Burris standing back at his own 48. And John Kidd's first punt of the game. Not a very high punt at midfield. Burris takes it. Dances across the 45 and inside the 35. A flag is down at the 42-yard line as the ball came loose. and still no indication as to who recovered it. Again, a flag has also been thrown.
Danny, and don't look at the players to find out who recovered it, because Miami thinks they haven't.
Do we ever?
Thinks they haven't. No.
And you see little Steve Tasker trying to pull everybody off the pile.
Well, there's the indication that the Bills recovered it. But again, Phil Luckett, the referee, will have to explain the penalty.
That penalty flag is back at the 42-yard line. It is against the Buffalo Bills, nullifying a great punt return by Burris.
That was a 19-yard punt return by Burris after the 37-yard punt by Kidd.
Holding on the receiving team, number 28. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Marv Levy stares through the rain in Buffalo, and Alex Van Pelt will get another shot when we come back.
On NBC.
Well, Alex Van Pelt, his very first NFL career start, has given away a lot of tickets, including one to his 74-year-old grandfather, Jack, and his grandmother, Catherine Van Pelt. Jack underwent heart surgery in the spring. He is scheduled for cancer surgery on Wednesday as Antoine Smith gets the carry. But Alex, very close to his grandfather, told us yesterday that, you know, this is not only my very first NFL start, this could be the last time Paps, who he refers to his grandfather as, could watch him play football.
And there's old Paps. I tell you what, he knows he's on camera. We don't have to pay him a rights fee or anything, do we?
I don't think so.
Pep looks good.
Our prayers go out to his grandfather, because that's a tough road ahead.
Gain of 1 for Smith. Van Pelt and the Bills faced with a 2nd down and 9 from their own 49, and Van Pelt back to pass and has his first completion to Andre Reed. And Reed is shoved out of bounds at about the 47-yard line by Terrell Buckley.
You know, the thing with Terrell Buckley on this play, though, and he's covering Andre Reed, and the one thing that Terrell Buckley wants to do, and I guarantee you they're told on defense, make sure you keep that receiver in front of you. They're going to make a lot of moves on a wet field like this. The receiver knows where he's going. Just keep him in front of you.
That's what he has to do. I mean, you have to be able to do that, because you slip, could be 6 points.
Andre Reed reached the 800 catch milestone last week in the loss. Now on 3rd down and 4, Van Pelt to the air again. Near side complete, and for the first down, it's Eric Moulds. Buffalo with a 1st and 10 at the Miami 39. Calvin Jackson chased Moulds out of bounds, but not before a gain of 7.
Well, Alex told us he knows at times when the defenses are going to be running man-to-man coverage, especially when they run motion. He reads the coverage excellent, gets the ball to Moulds, fumbles it out of bounds. But what surprised me is you'd think he'd be talking more, throwing the ball more to Andre Reed, but he told us yesterday that in clutch situations, look for him to go to Quinn early.
Pretty good start for Van Pelt when you consider again that this is a 1-game audition for Alex Van Pelt. He knows if he doesn't get something going, he can be replaced very quickly by Todd Collins as Antoine Smith is stopped for no gain. Let's take our first scoring update and head to New York with Greg.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Greg. And the New York Jets and Miami Dolphins will hook up next week in a critical. That ball is loose, and Van Pelt jumps on it at the 41-yard line, but that'll bring up 3rd down.
Van Pelt I mean, we're going to see the ball, and it's going to be sloppy all day long. Marino told us he doesn't even like the handoff on a run. That ball just does not get into Alex Van Pelt's hands. He looked like he pulled away a little too soon. The one thing I'm watching the Buffalo Bills, Jim, is they're trying to run the ball up the middle against the Miami Dolphins. If there's one place you don't want to run the ball, it's against the 2 biggest men on their team, Gardner and Bowens.
But one thing you got to realize, when you do hit the ends, it's so slippery to be able to cut back. And when you got a big guy like Antoine Smith, you want to try to run him north and south.
3rd down and 11. Van Pelt races out of the pocket and races for the sideline, ducks a shoulder, and is close to the 1st down. Calvin Jackson finally ran him out of bounds, and grandfather loves the run.
This is one thing Alex Van Pelt brings to this team. When he pulls the ball down, he's going to go, and he's going to go for the 1st down if he has to duck his head. Might not be the smartest thing to do. He doesn't want to get knocked out of the game, but Alex sees the 1st down marker. He's going to put his head down just like that. He's a tough player. He's going to go for that first down. It's going to be close.
You want to see a tough player? You want to talk about Antoine Smith running the football? You want to see a block that he puts on Jerry Wilson? I'm going to tell you something. The blitz is on. They run a safety blitz up, and Antoine Smith steps up and really hits him. Here, wait till you see that. It is absolutely incredible. Watch. All right, hold it right here, if you would. Watch this guy right here. Here's Antoine Smith. Watch this block. Bam! And that's what allowed Alex Van Pelt to get back to the outside and almost pick up the first down. This fourth down, why not go for it?
Fourth down and less than a yard. And the Bills and Marv Levy elect to go for it at the Miami 31. Derek Holmes is the lone setback. Van Pelt will sneak it. And if they spot it where his forward progress was at, he should have the first down.
We're watching this right exactly where the ball is. One official is about a half a yard further downfield, closer to the 30-yard line than the other official. And
they're going to measure.
No, he's got about a half a football. Jimmy, you're right. The one on this side gave him the first down. If they had used a marker on the one on the other side of the field, he wouldn't have made it.
He would have been short by a good half yard. So both guys running in it. That's what I told Dan you last week. And sometimes a quarterback, you want to run up and you want to try to get in front of the guy that you know that doesn't have the first down.
This is an excellent drive for a team that has scored all of 6 points in the first quarter this year. All Buffalo's been able to muster 2 field goals in the first quarter. Obviously, the fewest first quarter points in the NFL.
And that's one of the reasons that Alex Van Pelt's in right now, because they feel they need to spark. They haven't scored any touchdowns in the first quarter.
8th play of this drive. And Holmes gets the carry. Gets a big surge inside the 25-yard line. A good game. Zach Thomas on the stop.
One of the reasons Derek Holmes is still in the ball game, you know, at the beginning of the year, Marv Levy and the coaching staff, they were kind of down on number 44, Derek Holmes, because he gained a lot of weight. He didn't have his mind into the ball game. And you see the hole now, the blocking up front. That's Fina, number 70, getting an excellent block. But Derek Holmes came in. He really worked hard in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Marv Levy is very proud of what he's done, and he's letting him see some playing time.
Only had 4 carries coming into this game. As this is Antoine Smith back in the game. Gets to the 25-yard line. Well, Alex Van Pelt, leading the comeback last week, is really, Jim, a totally different quarterback than Todd Collins, whom he's replaced.
Totally different. I mean, Todd's more of a laid-back quarterback. He's going to let his players be themselves, not say much. Alex, on the other hand, will come in there. He'll say what he feels he has to say to get the guys fired up. Make sure that they're all on the same page. If there's a mistake, he'll point it out. He won't get in anybody's face, but he'll make sure that they know that, hey, in order to be successful, we all got to be playing together.
Ironically, we have 2 former Pitt Panther quarterbacks today, and it was Alex Van Pelt, who, when he went to Pitt, broke most of Dan Marino's passing records there.
You know, the one thing about Alex Van Pelt, though, talking to him yesterday, and he understands the situation. Jim brought it up in the beginning of the game, is the fact that he said, look, this is a one-game audition, and if I do well, I play. If I don't, he understands that Todd Collins will be in.
And he's accepted that, too.
Exactly.
3rd down and 4, as you saw the left tackle, John Fina, coming off with an injury. And that is Lonnie Johnson, who Van Pelt hooks up with, and the big tight end is short of the first down. Buckley on the coverage.
Again, another blitz by the Miami Dolphins, and Antoine Smith picks up the blitz just the way it's drawn up. Hey, if he's going to be in a football game, if they're going to blitz, be ready to take him on. He takes on Zach Thomas there, and then allows Alex Van Pelt to roll out to the right and hit Lonnie Johnson.
Short of the first down, as Steve Christie has come on to attempt a field goal. What a 55-yarder he hit last week that sent the game into overtime. It was the 2nd longest in team history. This from 46 for Christie, and it is good. So the Bills now have 9 points in the first quarter in the '97 season. Kelly and Paul McGuire back at Rich Stadium in a steady rain. The Buffalo Bills get a 41-yard field goal from Steve Christie to break out on top 3-0. And Irving Spikes takes the rather short kick from Christie across the 30-yard line. You can follow the NFL online at NBCSports.com. This week, Gil Brandt hands out his midseason awards and takes an in-depth look at 40-year-old Warren Moon, who it's an incredible season for him as he has reestablished himself as one of the greats of the game. Plus midseason report cards on all 30 teams. It's all at NBCSports.com.
He only threw 5 touchdowns last week.
And he's only 40 years old, going on 41.
Hey, he turns 41 years old this week. Well, here's Dan Marino in his 15th season. Begins this drive in much better shape at the 31. And the give is to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who had just 11 carries last week in a very disappointing loss to the previously winless Chicago Bears.
And I went to bed, now all of a sudden I wake up the next morning, I thought the Dolphins won, and boom, the Bears came back and beat them.
Jimmy Johnson told us he felt good about his football team until last week in the loss to Chicago.
Well, he did it. He said that he expected them to win. The team expected to win the football game, and when we lost, it was a total disappointment to him.
Gain of 5 for Abdul-Jabbar, and he again gets the carry across the 35 up to the 38.
And again, Marino showed, he told us he doesn't like throwing a wet football, and they've yet to throw a pass.
I know. And you know, the funny part about it, just to reiterate on it, he doesn't even like to hand it off in the rain. And it looks like the way this weather is, it's going to be like this all day long. So he's going to have to make up his mind sooner or later to throw the football.
And he'd also told us that the only time they've ever beaten the Bills is when they were able to run the football. And today, they're starting out that way. They want to establish the run.
5 and 13, as you saw the Marino record since '87. Third down and a long 3. Marino working out of the shotgun. Steps up. Pass caught. Then it's dropped. And picking it up is Thomas Smith, as the play has already been whistled dead. Brett Perriman made the reception.
Almost made the reception. But Eric Smedley.
Almost.
He's the type, watching him in practice and knowing what type of player he is. He loves to hit. He loves to be physical. Again, playing his zone defense, he waits for him to catch the football and puts the hit on. Excellent play by Smedley.
Brett Perriman just playing his second game for the Miami Dolphins. Couldn't quite hang on, so here again is John Kidd, and there's Jeff Burris back at the 21.
Good
this time, Kidd really booms one as Burris steps back to the 14, makes a couple of nice moves, and again Jeff Burris with a nice return for Buffalo. And they'll begin this series close to the 30-yard line. 2:53 left in the first. Bills 3, Miami nothing. Injuries his defense had this week. 72-year-old Marv Levy said, "I may be the healthiest guy on this team." He also made it clear that Alex Van Pelt, could be pulled, and he even alluded to the fact it could come early in his earliest 2 series. This is the 3rd for Alex.
That means he's doing pretty well.
He's still in there, firing to the near side to Andre Reed, and Reed doing what he does best, making a move after the catch, picks up the first down. He's up to the 43-yard line. Gain of 13 for Reed.
And that's what you're going to see a lot today. When receivers make a catch, gang tackling by defense. Good indication right there to Miami Dolphins. They're going to try to strip the receivers. Andre Reed, one of the strongest receivers in the National Football League, benching over 400 pounds. But the Dolphins know with a wet football, they're going to try to strip the receivers, not only them, but the running back also.
One of the other things that's going to be open, Dan, most of this game, Jimmy, is the outside stuff, the real short stuff. First of all, you're probably not going to have much time to get downfield. And the other thing with this wet ball, the corners will give you that short route, that 5 to 6 yard route.
And Van Pelt gives it to Antoine Smith. And Antoine Smith driving into Miami territory, close to another first down. Anthony Harris finally put the clamps on Smith.
Antoine Smith is a big running back. Again, a 25-year-old rookie. But I'm going to tell you something. He's got great feet. He stumbles there, but watch this cut back inside. The man that missed him is Derek Rogers, number 59. Also a rookie. Also has some miles on him.
Just a few.
Antoine Smith came into this game as the leading rusher among NFL rookies, more than 500 yards. He has 18 yards today on 6 carries. And on second down and short, shakes a tackle and should get the first down.
One of the things that Antoine Smith better stop doing in this ball game is when he goes up into that hole straight ahead, knock the bounce back out. Once you start doing that, that ball is wet, they're going to take some slaps at you. Get as much as you possibly can straight ahead, and then worry about it once you get through the line of scrimmage.
And he's a big enough back to knock some offensive linemen out of the way and maybe run 1 or 2 defensive linemen over.
Exactly.
1st and 10 from the Miami 45. Van Pelt rolling to his right. Pass complete at the 32-yard line to Andre Reed for what appears to be another first down. Let's go to New York. Another scoring update. Thank you, Greg. Final seconds ticking away here in Orchard Park, and the Buffalo Bills did not get a touchdown again in the first quarter this year, but they have a 3-0 lead. We'll be right back to rainy Rich Stadium. Alex Van Pelt's first career start right after this. The man that started all 8 of Buffalo's games this season, watching Alex Van Pelt play pretty impressively here in the early going. The first quarter in the books, and Van Pelt and the Bills with a first down at the Miami 37. Antoine Smith gets the call again, batters his way up to about the 27. Zach Thomas on the stop.
Zach Thomas leading the Dolphins defense.
And look at the possession total in the first quarter. Buffalo with a ball 11 minutes. Miami with 13 total yards. They didn't make a first down.
The only problem with that whole graphic is, and it's fine for Buffalo, they only get 3 points out of that whole deal. I mean, you got to get, if you got to have the ball that long, you got to get some points with it.
Gain of 4 for Smith. He's in the backfield again on 2nd and 6. Van Pelt to the air, and this one is caught inside the 20 for another first down. Quinn Early makes the reception.
And I'm looking at the Miami Dolphins defense. They're bringing sometimes 8 players up in the box. They know the Bills are going to try to run the football with Antoine Smith upper. That means you're 1-on-1 on the outside. And Alex told us yesterday that if he had to come to a receiver and clutch, it would be this receiver, Quinn Early, number 88. He has a lot of confidence in him.
And again, you watch the defensive back, they'll sit there and they will not allow the receiver to get beyond him. And you look at the guys in that box you're talking about, the offensive line, they are doing a great job picking up the defense.
Ball inside the 20. Antoine Smith, left side, gets a good block, pounds his way to the 15. Zach Thomas very active again for Miami, but the Bills beginning to churn out large chunks of yardage on offense.
Well, certain defensive fronts that the Miami Dolphins will give the Bills will determine which lineman will pull. Here, Dusty Ziegler and Ruben Braun are pulling around, and you can see these blocks, not only by these guys, but Quinn Early out in front, laying the block out. When you're going to run the football, when you're going to be successful, the receivers got to block. And in the Buffalo Bills offense, they have to come into place where they have to at least get in front of the defender.
Smith with 28 yards here. Opening moments of the second quarter. He gets the call again. And there are some pretty big holes being opened up front by the Buffalo offensive line. As you see, John Fina is back in the game at left tackle after limping off a little earlier, but a good block he provided there for Smith.
And watch Corbin Sr., right guard. He pulls, and as he comes across, boom, what a hit right there he puts on Shane Burton. Not many yards, but one, if you're going to be pulling a guard, you got to be able to accept the fact that, hey, you're going to be taking on a guy about the same size as you, maybe being able to bench a little bit more than you.
Bills trying to keep their hopes alive for a touchdown here on a crucial 3rd down and 3. Antoine Smith bowling his way to about the 7-yard line as a flag flies in.
That's holding.
Sean Wooden with the stop, and you heard the call by Paul McGuire.
Well, Tim Bowens, number 95, has been complaining about number 68, Corbin Lucina, all through the drive. And I don't know if this is on him, but he's been complaining. When you complain enough to the officials, somebody's going to listen.
On the offense, number 79, 10 yards, still 3rd down.
That time it was Ruben. I think the guards are taking turns.
Yeah, but you know, one of the things when you complain enough on a play, especially in running plays inside, and that's just one of the things that really makes a coach mad, is when you hold on a running play. They can see on a pass play to protect the quarterback, they'll give you that, but not on a running play.
Especially in the red area. This is where you can't afford to have a mistake, because it totally changed it. Now it's 3rd and long.
3rd and 13. Van Pelt very accurate so far today. 6 of 7 in this passing situation. lofting it toward Andre Reed. Out of bounds.
Oh, they had the blitz on Anthony Harris, number 51, comes up the middle. Nobody touched him. Van Pelt had to get rid of the ball quickly.
I think right there, Andre Reed did not, or I should say wasn't on the same page as Alex Van Pelt, because Andre Reed right here pulls up. And I don't know if he saw the football, because Van Pelt was leading him to the corner of the end zone, which you're supposed to do, and Andre Reed, number 83, pulls up. So it's a little miscommunication right there.
Good pressure by Anthony Harris on Van Pelt. Steve Christie looking for his second field goal of the game, and this one is good from 40. And the Bills increase their lead to 6-0.
NBC is brought to you by Buick LeSabre for safety and peace of mind. By Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Oracle, the company that's enabling the information age through network computing. And by Fidelity Investments, where 12 million investors put their trust.
What a dark, dreary Sunday in Orchard Park. The rain continuing to fall. Steve Christie getting ready to kick off for Buffalo, already up with a 6-0 lead. Paul, you're looking at me a little funny, but
It's a little dark, but it is not dreary.
you'll go for dark, but
Dark's
not dreary.
good. Dreary, aye.
All right, Steve Christie, after connecting on a 40-yarder, getting ready to tee it up. 11:42 left in the half. You mentioned a moment ago, Jim, that Dan Marino may have to start taking warm-ups on the sidelines. It's been a while since he has been in.
Well, that's the best way to defend is keep Dan Marino on the sidelines, because sooner or later you know he's going to catch on fire. But again, the rain doesn't help.
Christie's kick, low driver to Jarris McPhail. He's the fastest Dolphin on the team and gets some room up the left side. Nice return by Jarris McPhail. He's all the way up to about the 42-yard line. Steve Christie had to make the stop. Well, tonight, for 400 years, they stalked mankind. Now 3 legends of evil are alive again. It's a thrilling adventure. House of Frankenstein, 1997, an NBC original event tonight at 9 Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central on NBC.
Is that a friend of yours, Paul?
That's my rookie picture.
Your rookie card.
I'll tell you, Marino's got to start throwing the football. And here's a great opportunity. You've got the ball almost at midfield, and it's a great opportunity to throw the ball on first down. Hello.
And he will throw it, chased by Ted Washington out of the pocket as it falls incomplete. Ed Perry, the intended receiver, the tight end.
That would be a good foot race. Ted Washington and Dan Marino. His Ted weighs about, what, 340 pounds?
Keep going.
Whoa.
Keep going.
360?
Attaboy. You're getting close.
365.
You're getting close. He's 0 for 2, Dan Marino. But, you know, again, he has to throw the football. The reason I say he has to throw the football, he's got to loosen up that defense a little bit. He's going to try to run the ball inside with Buffalo with 8 in the box. It's hard to do.
On 2nd and 10, Marino feels the pressure and throws it incomplete. O.J. McDuffie in the vicinity, but really had no chance to complete it. Well, Dan Marino's record through the years in the AFC East, well, not bad against everybody else except the Buffalo Bills. And it does seem a little weird not to have Jim Kelly down the field in what has been a good rivalry stage between 2 of the best to ever play the game.
Yeah, but Jim likes it where he is now. He's dry. He's happy.
Warm.
Warm. Nobody yelling at him.
Not all the pressures. But if you watched Dan Marino last time, there's a miscommunication because he was expecting a side adjust by his receiver. He didn't get it, therefore incomplete. Now he's trying to make sure that all of his offensive linemen, his running backs, know exactly where the blitz is coming and who has who.
He has lit up the Bills in years past. 45 touchdown passes. He needs a big play here on 3rd and 10. There's that little shifty move, but Jarris McPhail can't hang on to it. Marino did a nice job of avoiding the pressure, and then McPhail dropped it.
There is nothing that'll make a quarterback matter, and I want you to talk about this, James, is that when you got a guy coming out of the backfield, the pressure's on, you step up, you avoid everything, you throw the ball, and then the receiver does not look at the ball. What McPhail was looking at is the guy that's going to hit him and not at the football.
You're exactly right, Paul, because when you come out of the backfield and all of a sudden you're making that angle towards the linebackers, you're thinking the linebacker, who's going to hit me? That's exactly what he did there.
Jeff Burris back deep to receive John Kidd's low punt. Burris lets this go and then picks it up frantically.
Well, he had to because the ball hit Thomas Smith, number 28, in the back, and he didn't see it.
It was a live ball.
That's one thing when guys are back deep, they yell poison, poison, poison. Not just the Bills, but the Dolphins. Everybody does that.
Burris senses the urgency, picks it up smartly. We're right back. Bills fans braving the rainy weather here. Buffalo out 6-0, but we're going to show you a graphic here. Score really doesn't indicate how much Buffalo is outplaying Miami and how tough a start it's been for that Miami offense. The ball is loose, and it's recovered by Miami. Sean Wooden recovers it.
And Sean Wooden picked the ball up, and as long as the whistle doesn't blow, he can go with the ball.
It hadn't blown, and Wooden runs it all the way down to the 11.
And that's a smart play because there's a lot of Bills standing around, and all of a sudden Wooden gets out. He keeps running with the football.
I'll tell you, is this a nice young man? We talked to Sean Wooden yesterday, and I'm going to tell you something. He is really a credit to football. A great, great football player. Came out of Notre Dame, and you're going to see this pop. Watch this ball shoot straight forward. Antoine Smith, the ball is stripped out by, I believe it was Trace Armstrong. And Sean Wooden, now look at, see, when Wooden's on the ground, just look at the people that are around him. If a blue shirt touches him, then he's down. But actually, nobody touches him. So they block, he gets back up. But as long as he's on his feet, they're bringing that ball back, though. They're bringing it back to the 22-yard line.
Phil Luckett with the indication, indeed, Paul, they do. They bring it back just outside the 22. Jimmy Johnson has said that Sean Wooden has been the best player on defense for Miami this year, and he comes up big with a nice recovery. First down and 10 for the Dolphins, who have to try to get something going on offense, and they begin up the middle with a decent gain by Abdul-Jabbar. Big Ted Washington along with Phil Hansen up front for Buffalo.
This way you get the momentum swing when you have a turnover. This is a type of plays, even in a weather like today, is you need this. You need that swing if you're a visiting team, trying to get the fans out of the ball game. All of a sudden, first play, good game.
Plus 17, the takeaway giveaway department, second best in the NFL. And they're going to try to cash in on this one. On the ground, near side, it is Abdul-Jabbar. Short of the first down. That should bring up third down.
Boy, McIver, number 66, Everett McIver, gets out on the outside and makes a nice block. Almost enables Abdul-Jabbar. Now remember, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, there was a lot of controversy because he had a child born. He missed a practice session. But the reason he didn't play last week was not because he missed a practice session, because the Chicago Bears had so many blitzes in, they figured, Jimmy Johnson figured he didn't know them all. And at the end, in the overtime, it cost him a game because he missed a block.
Abdul-Jabbar is out of the offensive set on third down. Marino with a quick look to O.J. McDuffie's way, threw it behind him, and Marino might have had a hard time gripping the football there to get properly set up.
That's exactly right, because what happened, he took the quick drop, and he knew he only needed 3 yards for the first down. The ball just slipped out of his hands. And you see McDuffie here does an excellent job staying on his feet, but again, the ball just very slippery, came right out of his hands.
Well, watch Marino now. You see the ball just gets away from him, and Bruce Smith is there, but that didn't do it. Marino just threw the ball. It just went out of his hand. It was wet.
How about these numbers for Marino? 0 for 5 in the passing department so far. This is a 32-yard field goal attempt by Olinde Mare. And it's no good. Wide to the left. The Dolphins unable to take advantage of the Buffalo turnover, and it's still 6-0.
Reason for pass interference on this play. Quinn Early.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 38, that's an automatic first down.
But I'll tell you something, Calvin Jackson should have known better because he has help on the inside. Now, hold on for just a second. Watch when they get to this point here. Here is the help on the inside. If you'll freeze it right here, guys, this guy here is going to be able to help him on the inside. If he does that, and that's Teague, he's got to play. But he goes over the back and puts his hand on him. And once you put your hand on the player, and right in the middle of the field, the official sees it, it's pass interference. Good call.
Huge penalty, and it's worth 34 yards for the Bills. Antoine Smith trying to turn the corner and upfield, and he should have another first down.
It's excellent blocking by number 60, Jerry Ostrowski, and of course, Jay Reamersman, the tight end, number 85.
That's slot, and watch this. He's going to break to the outside. There's another push-off, and Moles is there.
Well, number one, he was thrown to Eric Moulds, but Eric Moulds saw the defender on the outside. He pulled up, and Alex was leading.
41-yard field goal attempt on the way for Christie, and that one is no good. So Christie, after hitting from 41 and 40, is off the mark. We'll be right back. 150 career. Richmond Webb, though, has given up just 3 in the 7 years that he's been facing Bruce Smith. That speaks very highly of Richmond Webb as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets the call.
When you think about it, you say 7 years, but they face each other twice a year, so that's 14 games and only 3 sacks. All right, here's Bruce Smith. Now you see the big man. He sees Richmond Webb pull out, so he knows that he's not going to block him. It is a running play, and watch him come down the line of scrimmage and makes the play. That's just outside. That's terrific hustle. Someone's got to pick him off coming down.
Not only hustle, but speed. Not many players can run a 4.65 and be 270 pounds like Bruce Smith.
On 2nd down and 9, Marino off the mark again. He is 0 for 6 in passing as we head to New York again, and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dan, the Oakland.
Over 5 minutes left here in the opening half. 3rd down and 9. Bruce Smith digging in on 3rd down for Buffalo.
6 defensive backs in the game going to a dime package.
Out of the shotgun, Marino feels pressure from the backside, tries to get it away, did, but it's incomplete. Intended for McPhail. Burris on the coverage. Marino 0 for 7.
Well, Kerner came from the right side here, Paul, and I think Marino felt the pressure. I mean, he's been in this league 15 years. He knows where the pressure's coming. You see Kerner coming right here. He feels him. He steps up. He tries to deliver it, but again, a wet football.
He tried to throw it sidearm because he felt him coming, and he couldn't get the ball. He just lost it.
So in comes John Kidd again. Miami has not picked up a first down all game long. Jeff Burris has had some good returns today. And this time Miami able to contain him as a flag is down at the 40-yard line. With 4:47 left in the half, Marino still has not completed a pass. And the holding call indicated against Buffalo on the return.
We might have to check the record books. When's the last time Dan Marino went this long?
I know.
He didn't have a completion.
I'll tell you, there's a guy. We just saw Jimmy Johnson. You talk about some frustration. I mean, the only thing that's going good for him is the fact.
During the kick, 10 yards, first down.
The only thing that's going good for him is the fact that Alex Van Pelt has fumbled the ball twice from center. That's the best thing that's happened to Miami Dolphins. I mean, against Chicago, they lose against a team that was 0-7. They lose to them. They came into this game here, and he figured you have a pretty good game plan. He said to us, and so did Marino, the only way, we play very well and we beat the Buffalo Bills if we can run the football. They don't even have a first down.
So one thing, they have to be happy, though, to a certain point when they're only down 6-0.
Oh, really? Did he look happy?
Jimmy Johnson's never happy when he's on the losing end.
So Buffalo from the 16th, Van Pelt with another play action, trying to find Andre Reed, and nearly picked off by Calvin Jackson. He made a good go of it, but again, Van Pelt throwing into double coverage.
Well, that time Alex just tried to force that. He said, if I'm going to throw this along, I'm going to take the chance that Andre Reed is going to go up and come down with the football. A little stutter and go. Both sides, Quinn Early on the right side did the exact same thing, but Alex right there thrown into double coverage. Lucky that one wasn't intercepted.
I'll tell you one thing, Kelvin Jackson, he didn't buy anything. Kelvin Jackson, I mean, did such a great job on Andre Reed. Andre Reed does a stutter step, and watch Kelvin Jackson on a stutter step. Forget it. You want to stutter? Go ahead. I'll wait. When you're done,
Stutter all you want.
Yeah, okay. When you're done, I'll catch you.
Second down, Antoine Smith. Look at this pounding run close to the 20-yard line before George Teague finally brings Antoine Smith down.
Don't try to tackle Antoine Smith with your arms. You've got to put a lick on this guy. And when you're looking at three safeties coming up and making the tackle, George Teague, you know that these defensive linemen, I mean, there's guys in front of him blocking, but you've got to grab this guy.
And I heard the pop all the way up here, and it almost sounded like a linebacker, like a Zach Thomas in him, but it's just George Teague. I mean, he's not that big. He's only 200 pounds, but he put a good lick on Antoine Smith there.
Speaking of pops, Thurman Thomas took a blow to the head a little while ago and has not returned since. We'll try to get a more definitive report on Thurman. In the meantime, that will be short of the first down as Van Pelt found Moulds.
You know, the thing about this play here, though, is Eric Moulds had the first down, but he had to come back to the ball. The most important thing is to catch the football. That's number one. When he came back to the ball, he was almost on the line of having the first down, but he had to come back.
But one thing you tell a receiver, whether it's a tight end or a wide receiver or running back that's split out wide, is you go at least 2, 3 to 4 yards past the first down in case you have to come back to the football. You don't run right at the first down marker and expect the ball to be there as soon as you turn around.
Charles Jordan awaiting the punt by Moore, and it's a beauty. Fair caught back at the 26-yard line. So another excellent punt by Moore. Well, next Sunday, exciting NFL action continues. The doubleheader beginning at 12 noon Eastern time with the NFL on NBC. Then in game one, most of you will see the Jets take on these Dolphins, another pivotal AFC East battle. Others will see the Chiefs take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And in game two, most of you will see Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots take on these Bills. Others will see Seattle and the Chargers. Check your local listings for the games in your area. It all begins 12 noon Eastern time next week with the NFL on NBC. Big doubleheader weekend next week and a crucial month of November in the AFC East. 6-0 here, Buffalo, and a couple of field goals by Christie. Miami without a first down with 3:07 left in the opening half. Marino dancing around looking for the big tight end, and he's got Troy Drayton, and that is their very first down of the game.
I'm going to tell you something. There was excellent coverage on this play, but Dan Marino puts this ball where only Troy Drayton can get it.
And he knows John Holisek is one-on-one with Drayton right here. The thing is, Holisek's not looking back for the football, so Dan Marino says, hey, I'm just going to throw it in there. I know it's not going to be intercepted. Drayton just has to go up and get the football.
Having said this today, Miami with another first down. And that one is complete out of the backfield to Bernie Parmalee. Parmalee, a popular receiver for Marino out of the backfield. That is his 21st catch of the season. As we take a look at the first half possessions for Miami.
All right, punt, punt, punt. The last 5 possessions last week against the Chicago Bears, punt, 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 fumble. The last 5 in the game against the Bears.
Not a good pattern at all.
I don't think so.
Buffalo on the 1st and 10 complete, O.J. McDuffie, and that has been the go-to guy for Marino, but he took a pop from Bruce Smith. But Bruce Smith, who talked about it this week, he respects Dan Marino, helps Marino get up, but what a pop delivered by Smith.
Well, here's the other guy, 78. Watch this move. Here's a whiff. That's a whiff. There's one by Richard Webb. Now Ruddy, number 61. There's a whiff. There's 2 whiffs. He can get a cold going by these guys. Now here's the hit on Marino we talked about. Watch what happens to Marino's right leg. Bend underneath, right in here. But Marino got up, went under the sideline. He is limping right now, but he is the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
And a give on the ground to Irving Spikes, and Spikes gets nowhere. Bruce Smith very active again.
Jimmy, somebody's going to have to cut Bruce Smith off. If you're going to run away from him, at least cut him off.
Well, you're going to have to, because Bruce Smith is the type of player, if you're going to let him free, you're going to have somebody being able to block back. Automatically, he reads Richmond Webb coming down, and Bruce Smith's going to run there. He's going to be able to make that play every time.
Ball at the Bills 24, second down and 11. Marino has hit the last 3 passes after going 0 for 7. And that one batted away at the line of scrimmage.
Sean Moran, number 98. That's the first thing they teach a defensive lineman. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your face in there.
You're right. And when there's a quick drop, like the Miami Dolphins like to do, and a Dan Marino with his quick release, if you know you're going to not get pressure on him, you stay at the line, wait for him to throw the ball, and then put your arms up.
Again, Marino starting out 0 for 7, 3 of 4 on this drive for 51 yards, but the Dolphins have yet to convert a third down today. 0 for 5, and they have 3rd and 11 here. And Marino's pass, it is complete. That is Brett Perriman. And Perriman picks up the first down, brought down by Ken Irvin.
I'm going to tell you something, Jimmy. First, this whole thing starts with pass protection. Dan Marino can pick out anybody he wants. Watch the protection of this offensive line right in through here. Watch these guys. Here's Marino setting up. When you have this much time, you can throw to anyone you want.
You're right, and he does it. He has time to step into the football also. And I think Thomas Smith had pretty good coverage, but one thing he did, he tried to make the interception instead of let him catch it, tackle him, force the field goal. But no, Thomas Smith has a lot of confidence in his own ability. He tried to make the big play.
Dolphins offense, first 5 possessions, 23 yards, 67 on this drive.
It's one thing about time of possession, Dano. It's what you do with the time.
Yep.
It's what you do with it. The score is 6-0. You said Miami happy to be in this position. Yeah, they are. They're in a position to get to eat at least within 3 and possibly take the lead before the half. And I'll tell you one thing that does. That breaks the back of a defense, especially when you sit there and you're playing as well as this defense has been playing in this football game in this first half, and then you only get 6 points from the offense, and now the defense gives up a 7-point play if this happens.
And it's not raining quite as hard as it used to be either.
First and goal, ball on the 8, Irving Spikes. Not much at all. Bryce Pop on the stop for Buffalo. Again, Buffalo playing without Damian Covington, playing without Chris Spielman. Spielman, a herniated disc, says he wants to come back, but that is definitely a career-threatening injury. There is Mark Maddox, who started 41 games for Buffalo in his career, but he was cut in camp looking for a job, and he's back on the Buffalo defense this week. Marino scrambling, just dumps it off, incomplete. Irving Spikes, he won it.
And one thing, you talk about the Buffalo Bills defense, you talk about all the injuries. A guy like Chris Spielman, Paul, you know him very well also. A guy just like on the other side of the ball, Zach Thomas, they don't like coming out of the football game. When it's third down situation, Zach Thomas wants to be in there, Chris Spielman wants to be in there. Chris Spielman, it took him 4 times when he was injured and went numb for him to come in and be able to get ready for the game.
How about this? Craig Erickson, who has not played this season, is the quarterback for Miami out of the shotgun. And Erickson's first pass, incomplete. He wanted Charles Jordan.
They wanted pass interference on Thomas Smith for pushing off, but the only problem with that pass interference was the ball was not catchable. Here goes Marino off the field. Now, on the play before this play, when Erickson came in, Marino stepped up into the pocket. And when he stepped up into the pocket, obviously something happened. Here's Marino stepping up right here and throwing the football. When he came down, he takes a shot from Phil Hansen. He goes back the other way. Now, that could be shoulder.
Mare in to attempt a field goal. And that short chip shot is good. So Miami pulls to within 3, but concern for Dan Marino.
And you never want to wish injury upon anybody. It doesn't matter who they are, a top-notch quarterback, defensive lineman. When you see a guy going to the locker room, you got a feel for him.
Well, only 23 seconds left in the half, and Marino will get an early walk to the locker room. Again, starting 0 for 7, but gaining his touch late in the second half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, it's the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Gumbel, Collinsworth, Weish, Gibbs. They've got all the scores and highlights, plus Sam Weish has his bus ticket. He takes a look at the Steelers' Jerome Bettis. That all coming up at halftime. Well, in a game that Buffalo might expect to be leading by more than 3 points, 6-3. Field goals have accounted for all of the scoring. Christie 2 for 3 today, and Lindo Mare is 1 of 2 after missing a 32-yarder. He connects on the shorter one and gets ready to kick off.
Unless the Buffalo Bills get in a decent field position, they have 3 timeouts left, but they won't be needing to use them.
The report on Marino is a sprained left ankle, and we'll try to get more details as to if he'll return to the game or not. Mare just punches this down the field, and Buffalo finally smothers it at the 34-yard line. The clock stops with 19 seconds remaining.
What do you think, Paul? 19 seconds? Not bad field position.
You got 3 timeouts. Why not take a shot? I mean, if you got, you know, Christie hit a 55-yarder here a week ago. If you get yourself a first down with 19 seconds, 3 timeouts, you can run 4 or 5 plays.
And I know the way Alex Van Pelt, the confidence he has in his own ability, and the confidence the coaches have in him, you might see that.
Thurman Thomas is back in the ball game.
That's nice to see.
He is the lone back behind Van Pelt. And they'll give it to Thurman Thomas. Left side, big burst by Thomas, close to midfield. And the Bills quickly get a timeout. That play took just 6 seconds, 17 yards for Thomas. And all of a sudden, the Bills have a very realistic chance of getting within field goal range.
They might have caught the Dolphins off guard there. They probably thought, okay, they're going to go to the sideline. They're going to try to work the sideline and get out of bounds. But also, they have to realize the Bills had 3 timeouts left. They didn't know it. Hey, you throw a draw in there, it would only take 5 or 6 seconds. Boom, timeout.
Well, again, you 6 seconds on a running play that picked up almost 20 yards. Now you figure you throw a pass. They're only like 4 or 5 seconds each one of those pass plays. So again, you have 3 more plays left if you want to get yourself in field goal range.
Again, Christie, a very strong leg. He hit the 55-yarder last week, which sent the game into overtime. He's kicked a 59-yarder, which ironically came against Miami a few years back. Ball at midfield here, 1st and 10. Again, the Bills still with 2 timeouts left. Van Pelt to the air again. And the pass is complete to the near side to Eric Moulds, who gets the bounce, stops the clock with 7 seconds to go.
6-yard gain.
Well, now it's getting close, guys. 7 seconds left. You do have some timeouts left.
Yeah,
too.
I think you throw one quick out. I mean, I'm talking one quick out. I'm talking about a 12-yard out. You want to get the ball to about the 30-yard line.
And if you're a receiver, if you catch the ball and happen to catch it in the middle of the field and you know you're in field goal range, go down, call a timeout.
We need to get it closer than where it's at right now for sure. It would be a 60-plus field goal attempt. Now the time is clicking away as Van Pelt finally gets out of bounds. Stops the clock with 1 second left.
Now it's pretty much,
and they're out of field goal range now for sure.
Roll one way and throw the Hail Mary pass. That's about all they have, because that's well out of Steve Christie's range.
And you don't even want to attempt a field goal here, because everything can go wrong. There's not really anything that goes right. Well, I'm just what I'm saying here is you're looking at a 65-yard field goal. The longest in history, 63 by Dempsey.
Well, the crowd rises as one here at Rich Stadium. The hold is down. The kick will come up well short. Well, at least we had a shot at NFL history anyway.
I don't know if Steve Christie would be real happy about that.
Well, we'll be sending you to our NFL and NBC studios in New York. But first, these words from your local station. Buffalo up 6-3 at the half.
Now on on NBC Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Domino's, delivering 1 million smiles a day.
Touchdown. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our studios in New York. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Chris Collinsworth, Sam Weish, and Joe Gibbs. Let's run down scores and highlights for you around the NFL, beginning with the game at the Metrodome, where the Vikings are leading the New England. The Buffalo Bills are leading the Miami Dolphins by a score of 6-3. Dan Marino has left this game with a sprained ankle. He wasn't having an awful good day to begin with.
No, he wasn't. I tell you, a great effort by the Bills defense. Bruce Smith is all over the place. They're playing great, and I got to tell you, I think that the Dolphins right now are thrilled that they're only down by 3 points. Finally, Marino gets going in the second quarter and puts together a drive. But I'd say right now, hey, the Buffalo Bills have really wasted one of the best defensive efforts I've seen in the first half.
All right, Joe, at the Meadowlands, where it is
of 6-3. Miami a little worried late in the first half as Dan Marino trotted off the field with a sprained ankle, his left ankle, but he's just come out, and we're just told that it will be a decision here in a couple of moments to see how it feels, to see if he'll come out and start the second half.
Well, I love what Jim said. We were talking about Dan Marino. Jimmy said, well, it's going to take more than a sprained ankle to keep him out of this football game.
That's for sure, because he knows that when he played the Buffalo Bills in the situation they're in right now, the tight race, Dan Marino wants to be in this ball game.
Well, in the meantime, Alex Van Pelt, making his very first NFL start, has been impressive.
He does, and his first audition is going excellent. Everything he'd want in this game is happening. I'm sure he would like to have those 2 fumbles back, but he was able to recover those. And I'm sure he'd love to have his team in the end zone, but 2 field goals, not bad.
Last 2 weeks, if you take a look at him, what he's done, 21 of 37, that ain't too bad, boys.
And the numbers against Elway and Marino, he's outplayed both of them, as the Dolphins will receive. At the 10-yard line, they bring it out. And across the 30 is Irving Spikes. And the ball is loose. Was it whistled dead? Yes, it will be Miami's football. And a look at the Coors Light halftime stats. Slow start for Miami. They did not get a first down until the second quarter, but the time of possession still weighted heavily in Buffalo's category. The lone turnover was the Antoine Smith fumble, and Dan Marino trots back out onto the field to start the second half for the Dolphins.
Well, you're
That
right,
did not
James.
surprise me.
It doesn't surprise anybody. Dan Marino, even when last night when you ask him how long you think you're going to play, he says, I don't really know until I get tired of playing, I guess.
Dolphins begin from the 39, trailing 6-3. Marino lumbers back and dumps it out to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Abdul-Jabbar close to a first down, so a good start for Marino and the Dolphins. Phil Hansen finally brings Abdul-Jabbar down.
Oh, Jim, I'm going to tell you something. Everett McIver at the end of this play, number 66. Can you freeze it for a second here, guys? Look at this big guy, Washington, in the middle. Now, here's a screen pass, and if we have this thing in the frame, you'll see Washington go out. You want to see somebody get dropped? Watch this peel back right here. Hello, goodbye.
I saw that coming. I watched Ted Washington, boom, right on his butt.
Second down and 1. And Abdul-Jabbar squirts for the first down. Down to the Buffalo 45-yard line. Bryce Popp wrapped him up.
And you can still tell that Dan Marino's ankle is still sore, because even on that handoff, it took a lot to get the ball out there.
And on the
Spikes.
previous play, when he dropped back, you could tell him get back a little gingerly.
Well, he's reaching.
Oh, he's, you know, we asked him about that play. Is that play designed that way? And you know what Jim Kelly said to him last night? He said, no, it's not really designed that way. It's just Marino's too slow to get there.
And Dan didn't disagree either.
Well, Marino's pass complete, but flags will hold up this play. Pass complete to Bernie Parmalee.
Well, Bruce Smith got a jump, and Richmond Webb moved.
False start, offense number 78.
Yeah.
5 yards, still first down.
And
Well-
Paul, this is the ongoing battle between the 2 Pro Bowlers who have combined for 16 Pro Bowls between the 2 of them.
Well, Bruce Smith is, you know, he's given some moves, and you'll see Bruce Smith on the top of the. He's going to let. Up here is Bruce Smith, and here's where the movement is going to be by Richmond Webb. Watch Bruce Smith. See that little flinch? Richmond Webb moves.
9 of Miami's 13 penalties last week came on the offensive line, so they're faced with 1st and 15 after another one. And this pass, is it intercepted? Yes. I believe Sean Moran.
Sean Moran not only knocks this ball up in the air, but I think it's him, and he also gets the interception. You talk about concentration on a football. This is all going to happen if you'll freeze it right here, guys, right here in the middle. Watch this here. Watch the play. Up in the air, the ball is knocked down by Washington, and Sean Moran, number 98, just total concentration, gets the interception.
You're right. That's a great assist by Washington, who stands 6'4" and probably has a wingspan the size of a Boeing 747. Moran picks up the interception, but Washington a big part in that. Buffalo begins just inside of Miami territory. Thurman Thomas. First down, Buffalo.
Jim, this is all Thurman Thomas.
What a move he put on. He saw the hole wasn't there. He knew he had to bounce outside. He did. He accelerated upfield. He knew once he had the football, he had to run north and south. Excellent job by Thurman Thomas. You can see right there, Corey Lucci had his guy blocked, but maybe a few yards back in the backfield. But Thurman Thomas does an excellent job getting upfield.
Gain of 12 for Thomas. He's got 38 yards on the ground. Buffalo on the move with another first down. And up the middle goes Thurman Thomas again. Daryl Gardner, the inside man for Miami up front, making the stop.
3-yard gain.
Second interception in the last 207 pass attempts for Dan Marino. He had a streak of 156 straight without an interception, snapped last week. He doesn't throw many.
Well, and that one's knocked up by Ted Washington up in the air in a defensive lineman interception.
Big Teddy.
Blitz.
2nd and 7. Van Pelt stands in, and this one is almost picked off. Intended for Quinn Early. Sam Madison, number 29, who is getting some good playing time in the nickel defensive scheme for Jimmy Johnson this week, nearly had his first NFL interception.
And I saw Alex Van Pelt talking to Quinn Early when he came back. Almost looks like Alex Van Pelt was throwing a curl route, and Quinn Early was running a square in. He throws it behind him here, and I think there was just pretty much they weren't on the same page.
Well, Dusty Ziegler actually gets an excellent block on Zach Thomas, and Van Pelt did not have to hurry the ball because the offensive lineman picked up the blitz.
Well, again, maybe because Van Pelt, his first start, doesn't quite have the timing down yet that he would like.
And you saw by the numbers there, he has cooled off just a bit. On third down, rolling to the right. That pass incomplete to the far side, intended for Reed. Not bad coverage turned in by Buckley.
Well, they're booing here. They're looking for some pass interference. And watch Andre Reed. He goes down. Terrell Buckley is on him. There's a little pushing right there. But now, is this pass interference? I don't think so. They both have an opportunity for the football. That is I don't know why the people are booing, because that's an outstanding play. They see it on the scoreboard, but obviously they don't understand pass defense.
They're both going for the football. I mean, they both have a right to go for it. It's pretty much who's going to get there first.
So Buffalo to punt it away. They got to the Miami 34-yard line, but unable to take advantage of the interception. So a short pooch punt here. Tasker is down there trying to down it for Buffalo along with some other Bills, and Jordan finally picks it up. And they mark him out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
Jordan on the return for the Dolphins.
On NBC is brought to you by Chrysler, engineered to be great cars. By Lotus, work the web with Lotus Domino. By Visa, the official card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. And by the National Cattlemen's Beef Association and Beef Board. Beef, it's what you want.
Well, the left ankle sprain for Marino obviously hurting him now. He is in one series in the second half, and Craig Erickson has now been inserted into the offense for Jimmy Johnson. Erickson making the brief appearance late in the first half, but again, Marino has been the quarterback for Miami all season long until this point.
And Jimmy Johnson has all the confidence in the world in this young man, Craig Erickson.
Erickson begins This drive deep in his own territory, and his first pass complete to O.J. McDuffie, and McDuffie with a good gain, a first down up to the 28-yard line, run out of bounds by Manny Martin.
You know, the one thing about O.J. McDuffie, we talked to him yesterday. We had him in the room. He says, you know, you're the go-to guy. Do you mind? He says, hey, they know they're going to throw the ball to me. And a lot of times we just get regular coverage. You see O.J. McDuffie coming underneath the coverage. He makes the catch, gets a first down. What a great play.
The leading receiver for Miami came in with 45 catches, just his second of this game, and on the ground they go to Abdul-Jabbar. But you mentioned Craig Erickson and Jimmy Johnson having all the confidence in the world in him earlier, Paul. Now, there was a little bit of a, I don't know what you want to call it, a controversy, but Jimmy Johnson earlier in the season alluding when Marino got off to the slow start that, hey, I could change quarterbacks at any point if even the legend future Hall of Famer doesn't get the job done, in my opinion.
You're absolutely right, Dan. And we did a game in Green Bay, and Jimmy Johnson told us about it. He said if something happens and Marino is not doing very well, we will take him out of the game. But the next week, Dan Marino would be the starting quarterback. Don't get me wrong.
And again, this has nothing to do with Marino's playing today. He's injured. And complete to Troy Drayton, the big tight end. And he turns and twists deep in Buffalo territory. Manny Martin finally made the stop.
I'll tell you one thing now. With Troy Drayton in here, and if you see him coming downfield, when he's out in space, what I think is that Henry Jones, number 20, tries to make the interception there and misses the play. And when this happened before with Smith, Jim, if you're going to commit yourself, you've got to knock the ball down.
Exactly, but Craig Erickson put it where only Drayton could catch the ball on his left side.
Gain of 27 for Drayton. Back on the ground to Abdul-Jabbar. Maybe a yard or two. John Holisek along with Ted Washington.
You know, John, when you look at Marino and what he's doing on the sideline, what does it mean to Dan Marino? It means that he knows that he can't go, and he knows he has the confidence in Erickson, and he's happy for him that they're moving the football. He just knows he can't play right now.
And you know, Dan Marino wants to be in there more than anybody. He knows that the rivalry that the Bills and Dolphins have had for the last, heck, 30 years, he knows that this is an important game. If he was healthy, he'd be in there.
He'd probably also like to be in there in the conditions. They have improved dramatically. It's not raining at all, and it's not very cold. As Erickson goes to the air again, steps in, will run it out to the right side, and sliding close to the 36-37 line. That was Sean Moran giving chase.
You know what? Sean Moran is been doing a very good job. Sean Moran intercepted a pass a little while ago, and just then watching him run against Erickson, this man has got some great speed for a big guy.
Well, nowadays, 3/4 of the defensive linemen in football cannot run the quarterback.
What do you mean nowadays? Especially when you play.
Hey, when I first came in the league, I was considered fast. Well, I was considered.
Wait a minute.
I wasn't considered slow, I should say.
3rd and 5 for Erickson. That's McDuffie in motion, and Erickson looking McDuffie's way. McDuffie is the guy they go to on 3rd downs, but Erickson unable to hook up.
Well, Erickson just threw that ball a little bit before he was ready, or before the receiver really made the break. He took a guess where he was going to end up, and he just threw it way out in front of him.
So Craig Erickson, who was signed by the Dolphins as a free agent last year, got some time last year, 7 games he made appearances in, heads to the sidelines, and most likely we will see him again in the second half. Jeff Burris waiting to receive the punt by John Kidd. He'll try to angle it toward the sidelines, but that ball is in the end zone. And that's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20. Still 6-3 Bills. 8:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Alex Van Pelt continuing to lead the Bills. And he told us yesterday, guys, that he has been in the league 5 years. He started out as a draft pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not the right situation there. O'Donnell was there. Tom Zach was there. Then he went to Kansas City, where Joe Montana and Steve Bono played ahead of him.
Now, he's not going to get into the lineup in that situation, that's for sure.
So again here, probably trying to taking advantage of fumble. Start. The ball is down on the ground. Calvin Jackson, 38, looking for it. It's still loose. And now I see one indication that it's the Bills' ball, and Van Pelt, who's already flopped on a couple of loose balls earlier today. Recovers that one.
One thing Antoine Smith has been doing and watching him, once he gets around the crowd, he still continues to hold the ball in one arm. He's got to be able to switch it, put both hands on the football. You see the play here.
Never
really had a grip on that one. But you have to remember, when the ball's slippery, get the grip, tuck it away. If you're on traffic, put both hands on it.
Van Pelt had 2 shots at this ball and finally came back with the ball. On the second one, Van Pelt gets it. But you're right about Antoine. He's looking at the hole, Jim, which you're supposed to do. But you also got to make sure that you get both hands on the ball before you get to that hole.
Second down and forever now for Buffalo. 23 they need. And Antoine Smith along the right side. Third down and long now from the 10.
Dan, if you wonder why it's hard to run in the middle against the Miami Dolphins, watch this big guy right here. Bowens and then Gardner, 92 here. 95 and 92. Now watch what they do. Here comes the blocking. Bowens upfield, Gardner. Look at these two guys just sitting there right in the middle of the line. There's no place for the running back to go. They're the guys, even though they don't make the tackle, they're the guys that make the stop.
And also, they know that they're not going to have to rush the passer in that particular situation. They know the Bills at times are conservative. They want to push the ball out as far as they can before they put Van Pelt in a passing situation.
On 3rd and 20, Thurman Thomas in the backfield for Van Pelt, and Thomas will get the run across the 15. And they needed more than that, so it just appeared that Buffalo didn't want to take any chances there. Let's move it out a little bit, punt it away, and get out of this situation.
Well, in some games, Thurman Thomas started out maybe a little sluggish. They put Antoine Smith in there. He did excellent. Now it's almost working the opposite. Antoine Smith a little sluggish, not getting quite the yards he would like to. All of a sudden, Thomas comes in the game. Boom, he's had some excellent runs tonight.
Not hanging onto the ball well either, Antoine Smith. That doesn't help your playing time cause.
Not at all.
Jordan's back deep. Chris Moore with a punt. And Jordan fields it at the 40. And brought down at the 46. 6-yard return for Charles Jordan, brought down by Derek Holmes. No touchdowns scored so far today.
If I saw this stat, I'd say, yeah, give the ball to everybody. They just start handing it until I get to 30.
It doesn't always work that way, Paul.
It really sounds good, though, sometimes.
And now Jimmy Johnson, obviously upset on the far sidelines. Craig Erickson is the quarterback. It's worth mentioning that in one of his 3 starts last year, it came against Buffalo. He was 14 of 29 for 192 yards as Miami won that game, 21-7. Erickson here with a 1st and 10 at the 48. And they keep it on the ground. Abdul-Jabbar stopped in the backfield. Bryce Popp.
It almost looked like that particular time when Craig Erickson audibled. They knew it. Bryce Popp knew it. He pretty much came from the corner at a snap of the ball. He catches the running back right in the hole. And that's something you look at. When you play the team enough, when you play them twice a year, all of a sudden, you might be able to pick up their audible system. It looked like that's exactly what happened there.
Either that or he was in the huddle.
That's an example of why Popp was the Defensive Player of the Year a couple of years ago. Loss of 4 on the play, so Erickson to the air, complete to O.J. McDuffie. A flag comes in right as McDuffie made the reception for an apparent 1st down.
Well, this could be offensive pass interference against O.J. McDuffie because he does come down and he uses his arm. But we've seen it 2 or 3 other times this ball game. It has not been called. Now they're going to call it.
And you know why? Because the receivers are trying to slow down.
Interference on the offense. Number 84.
Whoa.
10 yards. Still 2nd down.
Called it on
That's
Drayton.
on Troy Drayton.
I watched him also. What happened? I think he was starting to stumble just a little bit. But one thing you have to look at is the field is very slippery. The receivers are trying to stay on their feet. But a tight end, when you run right into a linebacker, you're going to push off a little bit. That's what happened right there.
Wait a minute. Now, wait, hold it. That is not pass interference, offensive pass interference.
That is not when you run right into the linebacker, because you have to give him the right to be able to run his route.
I think that play should have been called on O.J. McDuffie, and I think that's where it was supposed to have been done.
4 wideouts for Erickson out of the shotgun. And that pass is... Did he hang on to it? What a catch. Juggled Eric Smedley on the coverage there, but finally caught by Jordan. Unbelievable. Looked like he had it, then he didn't have it, and then he's got it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Erickson, I mean, he really pumps this ball. Watch this. This is on a rope. Charles Jordan has 2 shots at it, and then he gets hit by Smedley and still holds on to the football. Now, that's concentration.
You put it perfectly, Paul, because he put it only where he could catch it. He knew the linebacker was on the inside. He put it to his outside. Made an excellent circus catch.
Charles Jordan in his 5th year, a free agent. Back in '93, comes in on the 4 wide receiver sets. Now on 1st down and 10. Erickson slips, regains his footing, and runs it out. Ted Washington.
Erickson on the keeper.
And Sean Moran chasing Craig.
Erickson comes back here. Now watch the footing. We know it's slippery, and he tries to plant that left foot, but actually it hits on where it's painted right there, and that's where he slips on the paint, actually on the face mask of the helmet. But he gets back up and picks up about 3 yards on the play. It's just heads-up football. You know, good players make good plays. He's a good player, Erickson.
There's no doubt about it. And Jimmy Johnson has told us time and time again that he doesn't have any problem putting him in the game.
On 2nd and 6, Abdul-Jabbar still on his feet, close to the 1st down. Abdul-Jabbar will be short. John Holisek on the stop.
Well, Holisek saves the touchdown, number 52. But just take a look at the blocking. Here's Bruce Smith getting pushed to the outside by Richmond Webb, and then Holisek makes the play. If he doesn't, Abdul-Jabbar is still running. All right, here comes Bruce Smith. Look up on the top side and Richmond Webb. Now here's the block. These guys are screening each other out. You know, 2 all-pros, they go at it all the time, and they love to play each other. They really talk about each other. They really like the matchup.
On 3rd and 1, Abdul-Jabbar picks up the 1st down for Miami. That is just the 2nd time they've been able to convert a 3rd down today in 9 chances. And Holisek again on the stop. And we talked about earlier about the 3 inside linebackers that Buffalo lost to injuries. Holisek fills in there for Chris Spillman, who is out for the season. And here's a guy making his first NFL start, and he's got a bad ankle.
I've never seen it in my 37 years of being associated with professional football where 3 inside linebackers in 1 week go down, and 2 of the guys are hurt in practice.
Holisek told us that he was, well, maybe I'm 90%, but he's in there today. They need him. Erickson, deep drop, pass complete. O.J. McDuffie, and again Bruce Smith in the backfield.
You know, let me tell you something, Jimmy. You know, you played on the same team with this guy for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to see agility? Watch this. Watch this move inside. Now, but watch what he does. He jumps over now.
Wow.
And then makes the play. It's too bad he has bad knees.
Yeah. I wonder what he would
never think about. You talk to Bruce Smith, and he says, yeah, my knees are sore. But you watch some of the things that he's able to do, and it amazes you.
Not anymore. Not when you've seen him as many times as we have. I mean, he's just a great player.
2nd and 5, final minute of the 3rd quarter. Again, Erickson pressure, just throws this one away, and that was Phil Hansen in providing the pressure on Erickson.
Well, I have Hansen 90, Bruce Smith 78, Bryce Pop 95, and here they come. Hansen's going to the inside. They're trying to bootleg to the outside. Hansen won't see any of it. He makes the play.
Well, again, Phil Hansen had a feeling that they were going to run a bootleg on that particular play, and you can tell he really didn't bite on the fake. But Erickson giving himself some room in between him and Hansen, able to deliver the football to the flat, but again, the receivers were covered.
You have a feeling in this game, Danny, the team that scores the only touchdown is going to win it?
Yeah, big 3rd down and 5 here. Abdul-Jabbar picks it up. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is the leading rusher as a rookie last year in '96, beginning to be a force here in the 3rd quarter for
you know,
the
Dolphins. Danny, the thing about this play too, Jim, is when you have your defensive linemen thinking about passes on 3rd down and they're flying up the field. That time, Bruce Smith and the defensive line just ran right by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he picks up the 1st down.
They might want to think about trying to keep their 3 wide receivers set in there. That's when they're starting to pick up yards on the ground.
Abdul-Jabbar just inside the 15. Ted Washington. And the final seconds of the third quarter ticking away. That is the 15th carry of the game for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who had 11 all game last week, as we've reached the end of 3 at Orchard Park. 3 field goals account for all of the scoring. I do believe you. A touchdown winner could be the way it's decided.
Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
Craig Erickson, the quarterback for Dan Marino, who played just the first series of the second half. He's out with a sprained left ankle. And on second down, Erickson loses the handle on the ball. The indication, though, that Miami still has it, so Erickson appeared to fall back on it, and he did. A look at the scoring through 3 quarters. Just field goals account for it. Erickson again taking over for Marino early in the second half, and if you look at their numbers, Erickson has already matched Dan Marino. And there they are.
You know, you made a great point earlier, Jimmy, about the quarterback. We're talking about Alex Van Pelt staying under the center a little bit longer. Now, here's a new quarterback, same center. He knows the guy, but he must also, even though he's an experienced quarterback.
And just because it's not raining doesn't mean the football's not wet.
Third down and 12. Erickson out of the shotgun. In and out of the arms of Jarris McPhail. McPhail drops another pass today. Yes, it was rainy earlier, but it hasn't been much rain lately.
Well, I don't know if that play would have gone anywhere anyway, because Dan Brandenburg, number 96, the linebacker, was right there. He was looking at it. He said, ooh, I could have had an interception.
Well, sometimes when balls are thrown like that, as a linebacker, you might want to come up and pop them, especially when the balls are wet, cause a turnover. That's what they need inside the 20, but they're lined up for the field goal here, and good tie.
Mare has already hit from 27. He's missed from 32. This will be a 36-yarder, and Olindo drills it through. So with 14:21 left, we're tied at 6. With the injured ankle, but very involved with Craig Erickson.
You bet he is. I mean, and who else better to learn from than Dan Marino? Erickson will listen.
Tied at 6. Less than a minute into this fourth quarter. Derek Holmes brings it out for Buffalo. And he is tackled at the 25-yard line. Alex Van Pelt continues to lead the Buffalo offense.
On NBC.
The numbers for Alex Van Pelt significantly better in the first half. He has yet to complete a pass in the second half.
I got a question to ask you, Jim. You went out to practice. Are the tight ends involved in this offense ever?
Not really. I mean, you'd think a 2 tight end offense that they would be. You know, be throwing the football to them, but Alex told us that they're really not that involved, especially in the passing game, mostly just in the running game.
Speaking of the running game, Antoine Smith is in the backfield, and Antoine Smith and Thurman Thomas have been a nice 1-2 punch for Buffalo today. Smith has 44 yards and Thomas has 48.
But Antoine has fumbled the ball a couple of times.
But he's back in there now. Total yards in the first half, heavily in favor of Buffalo, and then a flip-flop of that in the second half. The Bills just with 10 yards in the second half, as we're still just less than a minute into the fourth. And they swing Van Pelt out to the right side. Andre Reed was open. Almost intercepted by Buckley.
That ball was totally underthrown. Yep. Terrell Buckley read it perfectly. They roll out to that side. Terrell Buckley knows he has help inside, so he just plays Andre Reed man-to-man downfield. Well, you take a look at it. You talk about the tight end being involved. The tight end is blocking. Lonnie Johnson, that's all he does. And look at Terrell. The ball is really grossly underthrown because Andre Reed had him beat.
He did. He had a couple steps on him. I think Alex just needs to just throw it. Don't worry about trying to guide it. Just throw it.
Miami, which has no interceptions in the last 4 games, has had a couple of opportunities to pick it off, but they haven't been able to hang on. Van Pelt to the air again. And it's Lonnie Johnson, the tight end, for the first down.
Well, that's one thing we just talked about. They weren't involved in the game, Paul. You just alluded to that before, but this is something they might have to go to. Sometimes the outside receivers being covered, few underthrown balls, but right there, an excellent throw by Alex Van Pelt. But more than that, an excellent route by Lonnie Johnson. They need to get the tight ends involved.
Sure they do, because what Miami is doing against their tight ends, knowing that they don't throw the ball to them, Dan, is they're covering with linebackers.
1st and 10 for Van Pelt. Antoine Smith gets a good block on the left side. Antoine Smith may have gotten the first down. I believe he did. What a block.
Corey Lucci, number
Corey
72.
Lucci, 72. Woo.
You're allowed to get your arms out, folks, and big number 72, Corey Lucci, coming out to the outside. Watch this block. Boom. Here comes Antoine. Boom.
Lucci is huge, too. He's about 6'8", somewhere around there, weighs about 330 pounds.
And
arms,
bench presses half of this stadium.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Well, Lucci in there for John Fina, the starting left tackle. We saw John limp off earlier in the game. He was back in, but he is back out. Here we go with the end around. Eric Moulds cuts back upfield. He's got a first down, and now he's down the sideline. Out of bounds at the 23. That's what the #1 pick of last year can do. They've been waiting for it to happen.
And that's a great call by Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator. Getting the ball into Eric Moulds' hands. That's what you have to do.
Watch what happens here. Watch all of these guys here on the defense, and watch where they go. They're all going to come this way. Here comes the reverse. Here comes the defense. They're all coming to their left. And when Moulds gets to the outside, there only is a corner sitting out on the outside, and he slips and falls down. It's off to the races. That was Terrell Buckley, the left corner.
Gain of 29 for Moulds. Antoine Smith up the middle close to the 20. 12-10 and counting left to go in the game. Again tied at 6. Only 2 field goals for each team.
Excuse me, wrong guy. It was Calvin Jackson, not Terrell, because Terrell's on this side.
That's all right, Paul.
Yeah, but I don't want Terrell writing. It wasn't me. But the linemen and the linebackers, when you're playing linebacker on a weak side, and that was basically the weak side, or any side, and you got up the field control, you have to stay home. You cannot leave early.
Easy to say.
Yes.
6th play of the drive. Antoine Smith in the backfield. The fake to him and the pass complete. Lonnie Johnson, the tight end, makes the catch. Calvin Jackson on the coverage.
Not much of a gain there because he saw the blitz coming into his face. Alex was able to get it to his tight end again. He breaks that tackle. He's into the end zone, but good defensive play.
It really is, and when a quarterback doesn't have time, all he's doing is an outlet man, and that's all Lonnie Johnson really was.
Again, we showed you Alex Van Pelt's grandfather scheduled for cancer surgery on Wednesday.
Saying, come on.
Watching his son's first NFL start. His grandmother Catherine also there. Both his mother and father are here as well. He takes a huge shot there and is able to get it away. Zach Thomas, number 54, delivered the blow.
You know, Zach, we haven't said much about Zach. He's been coming up the middle, and they've been picking him up. Jerry Ostrowski, number 60, pushed Zach Thomas. But the thing about it is that Alex Van Pelt, that's the one thing he's got to be able to read, is he's got to be able to read blitz, Jim, and hit the hot receiver.
You have to be able to do that. And I think in this system, at times you might think a linebacker, and mostly, Paul, linebackers are supposed to be picked up either by the running back or the guard.
Well, Steve Christie on to attempt. Now they spotted at the 29, a 39-yarder on the way for Christie, and well, you can count on him from that distance a little better than you can count on him from 65 yards out, but he attempted as the first half expired. Bills back on top.
Brought to you by DirecTV, satellite TV at its best. By Prestone Antifreeze, protect your car in the Prestone zone. And by Norelco Reflex Action Razor. Anything closer could be too close for comfort.
Key AFC East game. Buffalo on top 9-6 with 10:42 left. The Bills at 4-4 and the Dolphins at 5-3. Christie, who's 3 of 5 on field goals, kicks it off, and Jarris McPhail takes it out for the Dolphins across the 20, 30. Good return by McPhail.
And no flag.
Marlon Kerner on the stop. 38-yard return by McPhail, and it sets Miami up in good shape.
NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza, delivering 1 million smiles a day. Call for pizza now and share a smile during the game.
Miami Dolphins trail at 9-6 with 10.5 minutes left. Again, Craig Erickson taking over for the injured Dan Marino early in the second half. And the Dolphins, who gave up 4 sacks last week, have done a good job of protecting Marino and Erickson today. No sacks, although Bruce Smith has been back there pressuring Marino and Erickson. Erickson's pass deflected at the line of scrimmage, and we've seen that at least once or twice today as well from Buffalo up front. And Ted Washington got one of his big arms on that.
That's
I
his
see him do
second
that all the
block.
time.
That's second block today for Washington, number 92, Ted Washington. And he had an eye injury a couple of games ago. This guy can play. I mean, there are very few nose tackles in professional football, true nose tackles. This guy is one of the best.
Why hasn't he made the Pro Bowl?
Because you got Bruce Smith and you got Hanson, you got Bryce Popp and Spielman.
On 2nd and 10, and there is the first sack of the day, and it's turned in by Sean Moran.
Sean Moran comes off the left side and the right-hand side of the offense. Sean Moran is up on the top up here. You're going to see him come in, number 98. Look at this. Nobody touches him. James Brown, the offensive right tackle, never touched him.
And he showed us his intensity. I mean, after the tackle, after the sack, he gets up and he gets his crowd fired up.
Miami loses 7 on the sack. Pass complete to McPhail, and McPhail did not stay in bounds. They're going to mark him back at the 43, well short of the first down, and the Dolphins will have to punt.
This is Erickson's fault. This pass is Erickson's fault, and I'll tell you why it's his fault. He has McPhail wide open. The offensive line blocked. They got Bruce Smith and everybody else inside. And when Erickson got back to the outside, he sees McPhail. He led him too far, and he led him to the sidelines, and McPhail couldn't stay in bounds.
John Kidd turns it over nicely. Burris stays away from it, takes a nice Miami bounce, and the Bills will be pinned back deep, just outside of their own 5-yard line. Score remains 9-6 in favor of the Bills. 9-6 lead. The Bills begin this drive at their own 6-yard line. And Alex Van Pelt hands it off to Thurman Thomas. Thomas, the 6th all-time leading rusher, knows that little by little his carries will dwindle as the season goes on, but he has been huge today.
He definitely has, and I think this series right here for the Buffalo Bills is key. They're pinned back inside the 5-yard line. They can at least get 1 first down, try to get the ball out in field position in case they get held. They at least punt it away and give the Miami Dolphins at least 60, 65 yards, having to come back with the ball.
See the scores go by. The Jets out in front of the Ravens 16-9. That's a key AFC matchup. Thurman Thomas gets the call. Brought down by Tim Bowens.
You know, the one thing that the Miami Dolphins are doing, I looked at the first play in the defensive line. They're just jamming in. They're not worrying about passing down here. They don't really believe that the Buffalo Bills, with Alex Van Pelt in the game, Jim, will throw the ball. They're ahead by 3. Why take a chance down here? This would be a great opportunity for a play-action pass.
You're right, Paul. That's what you look at precisely, that this is thinking, okay, Thurman Thomas might get the football. They won't take a chance. Good place for a bootleg also.
They haven't been very successful at all on 3rd downs. Van Pelt stands in, and they get the first down to Quinn Early. Just barely, and Van Pelt told us yesterday, if there's one guy that I really like to go to it's early. He called his routes of integrity.
Well, he says that I know when Quinn Early, you're seeing him there, when he runs a route, I know he's going to run a true route. Now, other guys, he's not knocking anybody. He's just saying other guys will run different routes in different times. But if they call a quick out, a sit down, he's going to run it, and he knows exactly where he's going to be.
And he knows exactly what depth the guy's going to be, because out can be 10 yards, out can be 12. Quinn Early runs precise routes.
That was a huge third down pickup for Buffalo. Play action Van Pelt now. He spots Antoine Smith out of the backfield. He dodges one tackle, and he's able to get something out of it instead of a loss.
I'm looking at Antoine Smith, and I got to think he's thinking, please don't throw this to me. You already telegraphed you may throw it to me, and then come back and throw it. It's lucky he didn't get killed on this play.
You're right, Paul. Alex came back. He was looking to Andre Reed on the outside. Andre was covered. He's supposed to dump this off to the back, but I think as soon as Alex delivered it, he's like, Antoine, I hope you know the DB's coming after you.
Dwight Hollier with the missed tackle. And a look at the numbers for Smith. And an injured Dolphin.
Sean Burton, number 75, is down. Sean Burton is playing the defensive end position. You'll see what happens here. There's Lonnie Johnson blocking. Sean Burton goes inside. Now he spins to come back outside. I tell you, Antoine is tough. Sean Burton tackled him and got hurt.
It's nice to see him at least walking off the
You
field.
bet.
Burton, a 5th-round pick last year. Another one of those young players that Jimmy Johnson counts on.
You know, there are 21 new players on the Miami Dolphin team this year in 1977. When is it, 77, 97?
I believe it's
whatever it is, 1997.
3 years short of the millennium ball.
My lips are getting cold. Thank you.
Second down and 10 for the Bills. And this time they do keep it on the ground, but Smith wrapped up very quickly. That was Tim Bowens, one of 3 first-round picks up front for Miami. Bowens, the first-round pick out of Ole Miss 4 years ago.
I'll tell you, Tim Bowens is the big guy in the middle. I'm trying to find him in here. He's right over the goalpost. Here he is. Tim Bowens, just watch this. Big man stands up. The guy's in front of his Corbin Lucina, number 68. He doesn't make the block.
He's reading and reacting. He's not rushing for as far as like some guys like Bruce Smith will totally rush the passer. He's hitting and reacting. He wasn't really going after the quarterback there.
Well, last time the Bills picked up a key third down. Here they go again. Van Pelt had a receiver slip at the 30-yard line. Andre Reed, not that he could have gotten it, but he had no chance falling to the turf.
I think Andre, if he was like 10 feet 9, might have gotten a hand on him.
But I'll bet Alex is happy that ball slipped out of his hands, because Andre fell down. If that was a perfect throw, that might have been intercepted the other way for 6 points.
So the Bills punted away with 6:34 left. They have a precarious 9-6 lead. Chris Moore, and the Bills could use a good punt here. He just gets it off. It's a nice hanging spiral, but it takes a Miami bounce. A flag has been thrown at midfield.
The only thing this could possibly be is to me is holding on Miami.
Indication against, yep, it is against Miami.
Good call, Paul.
Thank you.
Well, NBC tonight, they thought a serial killer. Holding on the rookie Sam Madison. So that moves the football further into Dolphin territory.
Yeah,
now at the 43.
Danny, this also drives a coach nuts. You got a ball in great field position. You had the ball in Buffalo territory. Now you get a 10-yard holding penalty, and you're back in your own territory again. You're having enough trouble moving the ball.
Erickson hands off to Abdul-Jabbar. Not much on the right side.
Like a scrum.
And who's going to come out with the football?
Okay, guys, here comes the scrum. Everybody on the defense go left. Everybody in the offense go right. And I want you guys to freeze this about right now. Look at here. Here they are. A lot of pushing and shoving.
That did have a rugby look to it.
A little bigger, a little bigger.
Well, the scrum gains a couple. 2nd down and 8. Drayton in motion, the tight end. Erickson buys some more time, pumps once, goes downfield, complete, and he's got the first down. Another flag has come in. Pass complete to Lamar Thomas. A holding call against the Dolphins. Again, they had 13 penalties last week. That was 1 short of the team record, and yeah, that drives Jimmy Johnson.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. 10 yards. Still 2nd down.
McIver.
I mean, last week you were talking about that, Dan. 13 penalties, 9 against the offensive line. I mean, when you look at Jimmy Johnson's team, it's just not indicative of what he coaches.
And you look at it, if it's holding, maybe a couple you wouldn't complain about because you're protecting your quarterback, but not 9 penalties on the O-line.
And he said it repeatedly, our team is not good enough to make mistakes like that. Here comes Bruce Smith, chasing down Erickson. Erickson's down.
Bruce Smith says, finally, and I had to run him down to do it. Bruce Smith, here he comes. Richmond Webb is on him. Bruce Smith goes outside. He swings it, and Richmond Webb misses. Now, Erickson's got to be able to feel him from behind. He tries to step out of it. Bruce Smith gets an arm. Now, watch the end of this. Thank you, and thank you.
Number 151 in his career. 11th of the season. It leads the NFL. 3rd and 32. The ball is loose. Smith is there, but Erickson got it.
Erickson was not ready for this football. The crowd noise, the 78,000 people screaming and yelling, he wasn't quite ready for it. And all of a sudden it came a lot quicker than he was ready for. And Bruce Smith, again, ready around the football.
You know what he was looking at? He was looking at old number 78. It wasn't Richmond Webb 78 either. It was 78
right.
in blue.
He took a quick look to his left right before that ball was snapped, and sure enough, 78 with a blue jersey was in on him. Burris waves this one off again, and that will run out of bounds at the 49. Craig Erickson feeling, well, what Dan Marino has felt in the past. It's not fun to be chased around by 78. The NFL, more than 78,000 sellout crowd here at Rich Stadium. They have not watched the Buffalo Bills lose 2 regular season games in a row. In almost 3 years, the Bills with a slight 9-6 lead here as they begin this drive. Antoine Smith, Tim Bowens on the stop for Miami.
And I know what Marv Levy's thinking right now. With 4 minutes, a little over 4 minutes to go in a football game, he wants to be able to run the clock out. He's not going to take a lot of chances with the pass. Yes, maybe a bootleg here and there, but he wants to run this clock out. He wants to milk it.
And he's also said to this guy, Antoine Smith, 21 rushes, 59 yards. What he said to him, get 2 hands on that ball. Don't you even think about making a move.
And there's no doubt that that's exactly what he's saying.
53 of those 59 on first down. The fake to Smith. Van Pelt is going to run it. And he might have, they're going to mark him out short of the first down. Anthony Harris ran him out, but Van Pelt, good decision, picks up good yardage.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, he did a very smart thing getting out because he was going to get nailed if he didn't.
I don't know. Yes, but no. The way I look at it is when you're running and you know you want to keep the clock rolling, you slide in bounds. But I think Alex right here thought he had the first down and he ran out of bounds. But if he knew he wasn't going to get the first down, slide in bounds, keep the clock rolling.
Well, Jim, there's been a lot of talk locally here in Buffalo that Alex Van Pelt reminds a lot of people of you. Would you agree?
Well, his personality, how he handles himself in the huddle, the players respect him. They know what type of player he is.
Antoine Smith gets the 3rd and short call.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think he made it.
That's going to be close, awfully close.
Antoine Smith with the carry.
And I'll tell you something, if he does not make it, there is no decision. You punt the ball. You got 3:21 and counting.
No gain.
Miami has 3 timeouts. You kick the punt. put them in the hole. I mean, there are a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, but this is the smart way to play football. You have the lead.
You have to. Plus the momentum. The defense just had a couple good stands. What you want to do is, hey, put the pressure on the best part of your football team, and that's your defense, especially for the Bills.
So out comes Chris Moore.
He should kick it out of bounds.
And again, Charles Jordan back for Miami. And they will let the play clock roll off. And they'll move Moore 5 yards deeper. Well, Marv Levy, a lot of people have talked about how conservative he's been in the past years, and really he has not had to make a quarterback decision. Jim, with you here for over a decade, but it was a big decision for Marv Levy to go ahead with Alex Van Pelt, especially after Todd Collins, well, had earned the job in camp.
And he did, and he did an excellent job. But what surprised me is how he pulled him in the middle of a game. Not typically what Marv Levy would have done.
Nice high hanging punt. Fair catch called by Jordan at the 11. Well, next Sunday we tee it up again. It all continues with a doubleheader right here, beginning at 12 noon Eastern time, the NFL on NBC, and then game one, most of you will see the Jets take on the Dolphins. Others will see the Chiefs battle the Jaguars. And then in game two, most of you will see Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots take on the Buffalo Bills. Others will see Seattle and San Diego. You can check your local listings for the games in your area. It's an NFL on NBC doubleheader. The festivities beginning, as always, 12 noon Eastern time next week.
I've never seen a month in November where it affects a team, the AFC East, as much as these two teams. Miami playing Buffalo here. They go home. They play the Jets. They go play Monday night, Buffalo again, and then they play New England. And here's Buffalo. They play Miami. They play New England next week, and then Miami again.
This is the drive that could decide it at the 12. Erickson begins with 4 wideouts. Bruce Smith was already in the backfield when that ball was snapped.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. This has got to be, unless there was a flinch by Richmond Webb, this has got to be against Bruce Smith, because he was beyond the line of scrimmage. And once you're into that neutral zone, it now becomes a defensive man. You can't draw the man offside. Yeah, they're going to call it against Bruce Smith, and it's an excellent call. He got a jump.
This is a position where
Neutral zone infraction on the defense, number 78. The movement by the offense was caused by the defense in the neutral zone.
There you are,
5
folks.
yards, still first down.
That's him. Watch Richmond Webb. He doesn't move. Now, when Bruce is already in the neutral zone, Webb moves.
He's allowed to.
Yeah, that's right. He's allowed to move, the offensive lineman.
So the Dolphins gain 5 yards, 1st and 5. Erickson steps up. He's got Jarris McPhail, and if you get this guy in the open field, he can take it the distance. McPhail is close to the 30-yard line.
This is what quarterbacks like. They know there's 6 defensive backs in the game. They know exactly where the players are positioned. This is easy. As long as the front 4 guys are picked up, he knows he's going to have time to throw the football.
Close to the 2-minute warning. Erickson's pass never had a chance. Lamar Thomas slipped, and just draped all over him was Thomas Smith.
There's still 5 seconds to go before the 2-minute warning. It's a pretty good call by the Miami Dolphins. It's now 2nd down and 10. They have 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, so they're in very good shape. The only problem is they haven't been able to do much against the Buffalo Bills defense.
Dan Marino watching on the sidelines after coming in for 1 series in the second half. He's got a sprained left ankle. Bruce Smith trying to turn the corner again. That one incomplete. Intended for Perriman. Jeff Burris was all over it. With 2 minutes left, the Bills hanging on to a 9-6 lead. Time game summary. Craig Erickson taking over for Dan Marino early in the second half. His number is Alex Van Pelt, and his very first NFL start. Playing well. But is it good enough to hold off Miami? Dan Marino with a sprained left ankle. Dan Hicks with Jim Kelly and Paul McGuire at Rich Stadium. Erickson on a 3rd and 10. Jarris McPhail can't hang on.
Ken Irvin was there. I don't know if McPhail catches it. I don't know if he makes the first down or not, because Ken Irvin, number 27, was all over him. Now look at the time that Erickson has. The middle is wide open. He throws across. That ball hits him in the stomach. You've got to catch it.
I have a big question for you, Paul. 4th down, would you punt the ball knowing you have 3 timeouts left, or would you go for it?
No, the reason I would punt the ball, I agree, you and I talked about it, I would punt the ball for one reason. You do have 3 timeouts, and you're only down by 3 points.
This the game for Miami, trying to keep it alive. Erickson dumps it over the middle, and this time he hangs on, and they get the first down.
Like I said, go for it. Hey, Jim, you know, when you have that much time, that is a little bit of a surprise to me, because you think with the Buffalo Bills, these guys teeing off, knowing they're going to throw the football. You're not going to run it on 4th and 10. You're going to throw the football. He had Erickson, got great protection by his offensive line, and they've been throwing this pass underneath most of the day.
And the receivers have been dropping it.
Timeouts, both teams with a full 3. Erickson's pass over the head, streaking down the sidelines, intended for Perriman. Thomas Smith was with him all the way, and down is Bruce Smith.
Hey, Bruce Smith has had one great football game. I mean, he got 1 sack, but he was in the face, and here he is, Richmond Webb, 77, 78, but he goes back inside, and it looks like he just slips and catches his leg. He goes down. I think he's more tired than he is hurt. And he should be.
Maybe his knees are aching. I know that was one of the problems that he had throughout most of the first part of the season.
A rookie, Marcellus Wiley, number 75, is in the lineup for Buffalo. 2nd down and 10 for Erickson. He's got time, throws it back across the field to Parmalee. And Parmalee is close to a first down and may have got it. He did get it. They spotted at the 48.
Take a timeout. You've got 3 of them. You got your players all over the field. Take a timeout now. You've got plenty of time.
You took the words right out of my mouth, because you do have 3 timeouts left, and that's probably an extra 20 seconds off the clock right there.
Clock continues to roll. 1:15 left. Erickson going down the far sideline. That pass is picked off by Jeff Burris. A flag is down at the 29-yard line. We'll see if the penalty happened on the return.
Holding on the intercepting team during the run back, number 46. 10 yards, first down.
So the interception goes for Burris, and it's a big one.
Boy, Jeff Burris just plays this ball perfectly. With Jeff Burris, he goes up at the right time, comes down with the ball. The holding penalty here really doesn't bother him that much. It knocks him back another 10 yards. But the problem with it is that the Miami Dolphins still have 3 timeouts.
And Craig Erickson with the interception, which enables Buffalo to take over with 1:01 remaining.
You know, all Erickson was trying to do, Jim, is get something, make something happen, but he threw into double coverage.
He did, and Jeff Burris, you're right, showed his great athletic ability, being able to go up and come down with the interception. And as we look in the offensive huddle, Antoine Smith was out there. Thurman Thomas comes into the game. Antoine Smith to the sidelines.
In the meantime, Alex Van Pelt, and the Bills will keep it on the ground. That is Thurman Thomas just across the 20-yard line, but getting closer and closer to a victory. He has played well. And now, if you're Marv Levy, as you take a look at his grandfather, Jack, and his grandmother, Catherine, who have watched every second of it, is Van Pelt your starter next week?
Yes. I think he's played well enough to keep his job.
Oh, there's no doubt. It's hard to judge a guy when the weather's been like this, but I think he's held his own. He had an excellent first half. Came out the second half, really didn't have much possession time, but I think he did a pretty good job today. Not the yards he would like, or I'm sure the coaching staff would like, but again, he's gotten the job done.
But the thing about it is, when you look at those yardage in passing, Jim, they're calling the plays from the sideline. I mean, he really does not have any control. We asked him yesterday, do you have the ability to audibilize during the course of the game? He said yes in some situations, but we're basically going to go with what's called because they know what Miami's going to line up in.
Sam Madison has taken the spot at right corner for Miami as Calvin Jackson limps off the field. Bills again with a 9-6 lead, 56 seconds left. And they give to Thurman Thomas. Thomas leaning forward close to the 25-yard line. Sean Wooden makes the stop. Dolphins have 2 timeouts left, and they'll take another one, so Miami with just 1 left.
Yeah, but they're going to get the ball back with about 40 seconds left to go in this game.
That's if they stop him. The question is, does the coaching staff of the Bills have enough confidence to let Alex Van Pelt take a 3-step drop and hit either Quinn Early or Andre Reed with a pass to get the first down?
No. You asking me? I'm telling you no.
We'll see. No.
Well, I know we're not going to see the play we saw in overtime last week when they did the reverse and the reverse pass attempt. Well, you know that's not going to happen at this juncture.
Well, we eliminate that one.
That's gone. That play heavily criticized.
But, you know, again, the defense has played so well. By the time Miami gets the ball back, they're going to have no timeouts remaining. You just don't want to do something that gives them an opportunity to get the ball in this territory because a field goal ties it. Run it.
We'll see what the call is on 3rd and 5. The run. Yeah! Thurman Thomas has the first down, and that should do it. Gain of 11 for Thomas. He's got 69 yards today. It's been a nice 1-2 combo. Antoine Smith and Thurman Thomas for Marv Levy as the Bills move ever closer to getting back over the 500 mark at 5-4. Craig Erickson, a commendable job in place of Dan Marino, out with a sprained ankle early in the second half, and another great game turned in by the 9-time Pro Bowler Bruce Smith. This one belongs to Buffalo and Alex Van Pelt. And Pap saw it. 9-6. The Bills win it. Jimmy Johnson's team falls to 5-4. Once again, the final: Bills 9, Dolphins 6. For Jim Kelly and Paul McGuire, I'm Dan Hicks saying so long from Buffalo. Now stay tuned for Greg Gumbel and the Sun America post-game report coming your way right after these messages.